Hello, my beautiful people, and hello, my perfume lovers. Thanks for tuning in and welcome to my channel. I'm super happy that you're here. And if you're new here, my name is Martin, and I talk about fragrances. So, all types of fragrances, whether it's niche fragrances, designer, or of course, Middle Eastern fragrances. These are like my main topics here. I love Middle Eastern fragrances, and today is no exception. I'm gonna talk about another one. And if this sounds like something you're into, then please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate that. So I cannot wait to tell you my thoughts. Let's get started. So today I'm going to talk about a fragrance from Afnan. I've already talked about a fragrance not a long time ago from the same line. And here we have Turati. So Turati is called the line. And I talked about the purple one. There's also a brown one, a red one, and this is the blue one. It's a very deep blue, nearly black bottle. And I didn't actually know what to expect, and I actually wanted to have a fragrance for this summer because from the reviews and what I've read so far, this is supposed to be an easy to wear perfect summer fragrance. And I actually got this one from my boyfriend, so shout out to him, thanks for that. And yes, so what I can tell you, let's start with the bottle. I don't have the packaging here with me. I throw it away because I had so much, but the presentation was stunning. It's like every other presentation actually from Afnan, especially from that line. So you're gonna enjoy that. If you love packaging, then you're gonna enjoy that. And here's, of course, as I said, we have the bottle, and it's a very heavy bottle. It's a glass bottle. It's very high quality. Like honestly, with all the Middle Eastern fragrances, I feel like when it comes to the quality of the packaging of the bottles, there's nothing bad to say about that. Usually it's always top notch, and there's of course no exception when it comes to this one here. Even the cap is super heavy, like really, I like that. But of course, what always matter is actually the scent and of course the atomizer. The atomizer is nice, you get a fine mist, and the scent. Honestly, the first time when I smelled that, I wasn't really that overwhelmed because I felt like, okay, it's a citrusy scent, perfect for the summer, but usually I don't get hyped over that. I usually love fragrances that are strong, unique. I love oud fragrances, gourmand fragrances, something that really just hits like a spot in your brain where you're like, wow. And I didn't feel like that when I tried this the first time. Honestly, what I felt like was okay, nice, fresh, kind of smells like cologne, which you can get for like 2 or 3 euros, depends where you live. And I thought, okay, let me give this one another try and another try. And by the time, like with the time actually, I this really grew on me, and I felt okay. This is actually amazing. And I remember it was super hot here a few days ago, and I wore this all day long. And this really was like a refreshing. With every time when I smelled it, I was like, oh, amazing! Like really, because this is super refreshing, and I think this is something like you're actually going for if you're going for a summer fragrance. This is a very important topic because you're not gonna wear a strong, heavy gourmand fragrance in the summer and expect to feel like refreshed and better, but really depends. As I always say, I don't mind wearing strong fragrances in the summer, but my thought was like, I want to test something that's appropriate for the summer heat. And I think I found the perfect example. When it comes to the notes, you have a citrusy opening, so you do have the mandarin and the bergamot in the opening, like in the head note, and then you also have patchouli in here, some spices and some woods. I'm not sure, but I think I smell cedar wood. And in my opinion, it starts very fruity, not very fruity, actually very citrusy and zesty and refreshing, slightly fruity. And then it kind of gets more woodsy towards the dry down, which I think is great. It's not a very complex scent. So I think because I won't say it lacks complexity, but because it's not super complex, it's very easy to wear, very easy to just get compliments for as well. Because when I wore this, I got a lot of compliments, and I think it's interesting. Usually, you don't expect like how can I say? I wouldn't say that this is a plain Jane fragrance, but like it is a very plain and very designer like fragrance. It doesn't have like that niche vibe from me personally, but of course there are all types of fragrances you have, and it's supposed to be very similar to Legam by Bulgari or by Tiziana Terenzi Spirito no Rosso Pompeii. Like Rosso Pompeii is a fragrance it's supposed to be similar to, but I haven't tried neither of them. So I cannot really tell you my thoughts on that. But what I can definitely tell you is that this is super nice. really, I think this is the fragrance you wear if you don't know what else to wear. You cannot go wrong with that. I think everyone should have at least 2 or 3 fragrances that are easy to wear, and especially easy to wear in the summer, because this can be a little tricky, you know. And I think also the temperature plays a big role. Like, the fragrances develop differently, like on every skin and on every climate, like every weather. And I think that this is an all-rounder, so you could wear this, I think, in winter as well, or spring or fall, but I think it shines the most in the summer. It's really gonna give you that vibe, and it's gonna be like the perfect refreshment, you know. It's like some soda you're drinking, like lemon juice and soda, but you're not drinking it, you're actually spraying it on yourself, and it's gonna give you that like it's in a very aquatic fragrance, and slightly like ozonic and minerally, like there's something sparkling about that. But mostly it's a very citrusy fragrance, slightly fruity and very woodsy, and I love the dry down on it. There's something about the fragrance as well that's kind of creamy. Like, I don't know what exactly this is or where it comes from, because from the notes there's nothing listed in here. I could say, okay, it's creamy. Maybe like there's sandalwood as well in here, so that could be like explaining it. However, I feel like I smell cedarwood, and I love it. I think it's a very well blended fragrance for sure. This is what I can tell you as well. I think it's also super important that you have fragrances that are very well blended, you know, and it's not like an amazing experience wearing that fragrance, but it's gonna do the job if you're looking for a summer fragrance that's refreshing and gonna like just lift you up. And of course, I think that women can wear this one as well, just like men. It's unisex as far as I know. In my opinion, slightly masculine leaning. But it's just my personal opinion, because where I live here in Vienna, most of the women, they don't tend to wear this type of fragrances. But however, like, there's nothing, how can I say, where you like lean towards a specific gender when you like look at the notes. It's just citruses, some woods, and some spices. From the spices, I don't really know what's in here, and it's hard for me actually to identify that. I really tried, but what I identify the most and actually get the most is the citruses, definitely like the bergamot. I feel like I also smell some grapefruit, and I love that, and the woods. And I think that's it so far. These are my thoughts on it. Of course, the projection is very important, and the longevity. When it comes to longevity, I would say you get around 5 hours. Strong projection, first hour if you overspray, then maybe 2 hours, which I think is amazing for a citrusy fragrance, because usually citruses, like in fragrances, they're not long lasting. Like citrusy fragrances, I don't really know any fragrance that's like with citruses inside and that's super long lasting, or like a beast mode. If you know anything, you can recommend it to me so I can try it. But yes, this is it so far. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in again. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me your thoughts if you've tried that fragrance. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Don't forget to like and of course subscribe if you like the video and the content. And I hope to see you guys very soon for another review. Thank you.